first thing you remember from your childhood? It's not a test. It's not a lesson. It's not an achievement. Most of us remember a feeling of being seen, a feeling of being secured, a feeling of being curious, a feeling of being afraid. Long before we remember what we learned, we remember how it felt to be learning, isn't it? When my daughter was 3 years old, she asked me a question. Mama, why do grown ups stop playing? And I didn't know what to answer her. The question opened a bigger one. What do we silently take away from our children long before we realize it? And that is when I discovered the first 5 years is not about building their future. It's about shaping how they experience the world. The early experience of safety, curiosity, and connection is the foundation of everything that follows. The first 5 years, the scientists say that the brain is almost formed by the 5 years. It does not look like a flashcard or a report card. It looks like a child learning to trust with a hug, a child learning language with a conversation, a child learning to be encouraged by failing and trying and not giving up. Brain does not go through pressure. Brain grows through connection, repetition, and emotional security. Still, modern childhood feels rushed. We ask, can the child read sooner? Can the child perform sooner? Can the child compete sooner? But we barely pause to ask, is the child feeling emotionally safe? Is the child able to cope up with the failures? Is the child able to take responsibilities? Education system excelling with early childhood. Countries like Finland, Norway, Sweden, they do not emphasize on examination. They rather support teaching children discipline, respect, responsibility, life skill, and mannerism. What years of listening to children has made me believe. Children do not learn in the same way. Some may look like distracted, labeled as distracted, but are actually curious. Some may not be able to sit in a spot, but they can imagine the whole world in their head. Some may have delayed speech, but they are deep thinkers. I also had a child who had difficulty learning alphabets, but the child could resolve the conflict between the peers much better than any adults could. That movement taught us something that education is really different for different children. Learning is not linear, and intelligence is not one size that fits all. So, what real learning looks like? As an educator, I've been on both the sides and discovered a secret that really works well. Play. The kids love to play, but the grown ups confuse play as waste of time. Play is not a break from learning, play is learning. Play teaches children negotiations, creativity, emotion regulation, leadership, and resilience. As a parent, when my own child started to show abilities, the world assumed that she has been taught. But the truth was different. She has been trained. She has been trusted. She has been trusted to express herself. She has been trusted to question. She has been trusted to grow at her own pace. On days filled with excitement, creativity, stories, she was really confident and calm. On days filled with pressure, she withdrew. The difference showed that children don't learn for performance. They learn better when they are emotionally safe. The goal of early childhood is not to make them perfect, is to provide them emotional stability so that they can explore more, they can learn better, and they are resilient. Children don't need adults who really are perfect teachers or perfect parents. They need adults who are present in their life, who listen more than they can, instruct, who guide more than they can control, and the elders who value effort more than the outcomes. Because a child who feels pressured performs not so well compared to the child who is really motivated by self. So the question is not how fast the children learn. The question is how safe do they feel while learning. The goal of education is not about top performers. The goal of education is about nourishing emotional intelligence, social confidence, physical well being, and a sense of belonging. A child who feels belonged, seen, performs way better than the child who feels ignored. The foundation is laid quietly, but the brain is speaking big volumes. When you see a child playing or growing at their own pace or struggling, instead of asking, is the child learning enough? How about we ask, what is the child learning about himself? If we want future, the generation to think deeper, to connect kinder, and to adapt bravely, then we need to protect the childhood. We don't need to rush the childhood. The foundation years may look small, but they're really the place where the foundation, the main core of your childhood depends. Thank you.